Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Monday, Mindset Monday, and we're back. Jimmy on this side.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Drew on this end, and welcome back to the pod. Hope you had a solid weekend. It's Monday. You're motivated. You're fired up. Things are going great.
I got new khaki shorts on, dude. I just bought a new pair of khaki shorts, man. I'm really fired up.
Nice, dude. It's full dad mode. Khaki
You're-
shorts with sandals and socks on.
No. I don't do sandals, even with socks. I'm a tennis shoe guy. But it's funny. I needed more shorts, bro. I've had the same pair of shorts. I've got a few pairs. This one pair I've had, no joke, since high school, bro.
Damn.
11th grade, this pair of American Eagle shorts, and I love them. But finally, it was time because they're khaki shorts, and my wife thought they were blue jeans. That's how beat up they are.
Damn.
You don't even know what material they are anymore.
They're just like thin. They're like
Yeah.
spandex now.
Yep, it was time, dude. But I went and I was getting the cool little business looking shorts, some golf shorts kind of that I really like. But then I walked past the khaki shorts, like with the cargos, and I'm like, man, cargos aren't really in, but I need some cargo pockets because I got a lot of shit to carry now.
Cause yeah, you got to double up for the children, bro. You got to carry stuff.
That's it, double up for the children. So whatever. So I'm fired up for the new week because I got a ton of freaking pockets, man. Let's talk about fun stuff, dude. Let's talk about cool ass shit. What are you gonna talk about?
You want to talk about some stuff today?
Get into it, man. Get after it.
So I was thinking the other day, and this kind of just popped up in my head. I'm not sure where this is going to go, but it was just a thought that I was thinking,
Mm,
in my
mm,
head
mm,
as I was trying to grow my brain a little bit.
mm, mm.
And I was interested in how, like, just observing people and how, like, surface focused a lot of people are.
How surface focused they are.
Yeah. So, just not giving any depth to relationships, and like when you first meet someone, right, there's all these judgmental things that come uh, to the surface and then you formulate your opinion about that person based on what you see initially, or how they talk, or you just have this, you already figured out who they are, right? And that's where a lot of it stops, and people harp on the surface, and they don't really understand the depth that makes up anything. Like, it could be like, okay, since I'm on the analogy of meeting someone new, right? Um, in order to really get to know someone, you can't go by their surface. You have to really make time to really understand, who they are as a person, and why they think and why they act and why they say the things that they say. And in most cases, I feel like everyone can get along with each other on some level. There's always some level of commonality that can be had between people, because we have that already. We're all humans, right? So, we may have different backgrounds and look different on the surface, but there's always much more and there's always a connection that can be made. And I think about this a lot being in the sales world, because I have to interact with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to chalk a relationship up just because initially you don't like how they spoke to you. But before, you don't know the circumstances going into that conversation a lot of the time. They could have just gotten off the phone with somebody that, could have rubbed them the wrong way, or maybe they're going through some things at home, or they got some health issues or whatever. So I think people are really quick to make and pass judgment based on a surface level. And if you were to go beyond like something like that, like personal with dealing with people, if you were to just look at, like, let's just go broad in like a business. So this is why I wasn't sure where it's going to go. I just started thinking about all kinds of stuff. Like, when you buy a product, right? You buy the product, you can pull it out of the box, and that's what you see. But how often do you think about what it took to get that product to your door? Where did you buy it from? How did you buy it? What did that company do to package it? Where did all the materials to come from to make up that product? Where did some of those pieces and parts start? Was there distribution involved? How many people touched that product before it even got to your hands? You know,
Mm.
think about how deep things can go. It's like endless almost, you know, down to the compounds, the raw organic materials that made that product.
Yeah, man. What hit me was when you kind of said like in a sales perspective, when you're talking to other people, you're meeting other people. When you're in a sales role and you meet somebody, you kind of have to you immediately have to find a commonality because that's your job is to make them like you enough to want to buy something from you
Right.
and to trust you, right? So you immediately have to look for a commonality. But in day-to-day life, people aren't like that. If I'm just in line at Walmart and somebody does something that kind of pisses me off, they're taking too long with their groceries or whatever, I don't feel like I have to try to find common ground with them. I don't feel like I need to, ask why they're doing things the way they are. I just take that surface approach and go, oh, this guy's a total asshole because
Right.
he didn't put that little bar down between our groceries. Now they scanned my ribeye that was on the meat sale at Acme with his groceries. But you know what I mean? Now it's all mixed up. Now they got to give him a refund, and that's my steak I wanted anyway. But you don't think like that because you don't have the obligation. It's not your job, right? Whereas if you're a salesperson and you're at the grocery store, even because if you're in sales, you have to always be on because everybody's a potential customer. And you're at the grocery store and somebody does something like that kind of pisses you off. Instead of just freaking out on them, you're probably going to make a joke out of it and try to talk to the person and get on their good side because little do you know, they could be buying what you're selling anyway, right?
Yeah.
So that's very interesting to me how we as people just tend to take the surface approach and go, oh, that person's an asshole, or that person's stupid, they suck, they did something to spite me, when really they probably didn't. There's probably something deeper going on, but you don't know because you don't feel the obligation to ask or to try to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say that 99% of the time people aren't going out of their way to be a piece of shit to you. There are those cases where people have resentment and are just, negative people, and they don't want other people around them to succeed. But it's your job to identify that. You can see that on the surface level that something's not right, so you can shrug it off. But if you value that relationship, or if you value anything about the interaction with that person, it's your job to dig deeper and go below the surface and try and understand what it is. It could be something as simple as a miscommunication. Relationships have been lost because of a miscommunication. Now, that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you chalk up that type of value with someone on something that you couldn't comprehend because you're giving it up on a surface judgment? When realistically, if you were to clarify and be more open and honest with each other, maybe it takes you to ask the questions, but it's like, hey, what did I do to spark that reaction? What can I do to improve that? Or, you have to really understand what's going on in that person's mind. And it's your job to try and do that and draw it out of them if you care about that. I mean, if you don't care, then whatever, go on about your day, and don't get hung up on it. But I think there could be a lot better interactions among everyone in your life if you just take the time to understand what's going on with other people and how it impacts, your interactions.
Yeah, selfishly, I mean, think about what it does for your mood and your mind and your just how you go about your day. If somebody does something that pisses you off, and instead of freaking out, you go, "Whoa, hey man, like everything okay? How you doing? Well, that was a little it's kind of crazy how you did that. That you cut me off with your shopping cart there. Everything good, man? Anything I can help you with?" 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was mad, or
Got
I'm in a
something going
hurry."
on. Yeah.
But then you're able to keep moving along in a positive way rather than having it be the interaction was, oh, somebody just cut me off or somebody just did this negative thing to me. Now it's, oh, somebody did something negative and they apologized and I had a quick conversation with them and we kept moving and everything's good for you. You know what I use, and almost to a fault, is assume positive intent. I don't know if I've talked about that on here before, but API, assume positive intent. And I probably do it, like I said, to a fault. anything anybody does to me, I try to immediately just assume that they did it for a good reason. And that just allows me to just keep it moving and not care and not, being fighting in traffic and, doing all this kind of bullshit. If your default mode is assume positive intent, because most people don't want to hurt you. Most people don't want to, mess up your day. Some people do, but not most.
Yeah. I think the most valuable asset any human can have is the ability to understand and influence other humans. I mean, that's how sales is driven. That's how relationships are built. The more you can take the time to go below the surface and truly understand other people and how they think and how they act, the more successful and the more educated you are to be able to provide a product or a service to any market. You know what I mean? It's just, that is the single biggest asset that we all are capable of obtaining, is just understanding and influencing people.
Yep. I feel you, man. That's a good one.
Yeah. So that was just something that I was thinking about, and I've been trying to just, how can I implement that into everything that I do every day, just interacting, just taking a moment to reflect and dig a little deeper on why things are what they are, or where they came from, or how it started. And you know what I mean? Just try and really understand the depth that goes beyond the surface. And everything has tons of layers if you're willing to take the time. And that's obviously more important something is to you, the more you should take the time to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. And that's work with anything. If you want to learn how to shoot free throws, on the surface level looks pretty simple, right? But then you can say,
What are the mechanics of
are you right-handed or left-handed?
Oh.
Do you put your right foot forward or left foot forward? Do you
Where you
keep
point
left?
your elbow, boy?
Is your elbow? How much pressure are you putting on, whichever hand? Where are you looking at? Are you looking at the front of the rim or the back of the rim? Are you looking at the square? There's just there's so many different, you can go on and on about mechanics and that kind of thing. And the more you're able to tune into those mechanics and dig deeper and truly understand it, the easier it is to learn and to be more successful at it.
That's right.
So there you go.
Hey, kind of a little bit of a shifting gears a little bit, kind of a little current event, man. Did you hear about that restaurant they put on the moon?
I have not.
Good food, no atmosphere.
No. I like it.
No, I got 2 kids now, boy. These jokes are coming hot and heavy. They just start coming out of your shoes, out of your New Balances.
Your white New Balance with the high socks.
That's it. So hope everybody out there enjoyed this episode with some knowledge from young Drew Castle himself. Hope you have a good week, everybody. Keep it positive. Stay motivated. Fill your brain with good stuff. Control the content that you're putting in, and think about what you're putting in as you're putting it in. And then go a little deeper than the surface, man. Like Drew said.
That's all you got to do.
And until next time, grow your brain a little bit.
That's it. Stay productive and get shit done.